Us. Right then and there. Us. I was running. I just started booking. I'm running. What's good, YouTube? Damn. Nah, that didn't feel natural though. Yo, what's good, YouTube? I'm back at it with another story time. Y'all already read the title. I'ma just get right into it. This is the time I ran from my ops. Now, everything that I'm saying within this story time is true, but small and otherwise details I just don't remember. But the main point is I ran from my ops and nobody wanted to fight with me. But that's a spoiler, so watch the story. This is the first time I really ran from ops. This isn't like, oh, I had beef with kids in school and we just tussled and knuckled up. Nah, I really had ops. Well, I didn't have ops, but I'm gonna get into that later into the story. First and foremost, I want to make this very clear. F&B is not a gang. We are not gang affiliated, nor do we claim to be. I grew up in a church. I know my place. I am not in the street. I am at home studying. So growing up, I grew up with this in mind. My parents are African immigrants. My pops is a pastor. So I know for a fact I do not belong in the streets. Nor will I ever be in the streets. Not only was I raised in an environment in which growing up in the streets wasn't an option, but also more importantly, I have no respect for people in the streets. I never believed in big homie. I never believed in not snitching. What you talking about? You think you gonna rob me and I'm not gonna snitch? You think you gonna assault me and I'm not gonna sue? Yeah, I got something for you, buddy. But alright, to start off this story, I have to give y'all a lot of context. And keep in mind, this context is a little blurry because this is from like, I would say 7th, 8th grade. No, this all started off in 7th grade, but I wasn't involved in 7th grade. But what I heard, how this started, came from word of mouth, like word of hearing. I don't know how to say it properly, but y'all know what I'm saying. I didn't live this part of the story, so I can't necessarily say that this is 100% factual, and I may get some details wrong. So when I was in 7th grade, right, there were two schools. I was going to this one school. Now, there was another school that was like 2-3 blocks down the street from us. Now, these two schools, we knew each other from, we knew about like other people from different schools. So we were always interconnected, especially with social media. Me, I didn't have social media in middle school. Why? Because I had no need for it. To be honest, I don't even like the social media, nor Instagram. I really don't like Mark Zuckerberg for real. I don't trust him. He reminds me of Ronald Reagan. I don't know how to describe that, but he reminds me of a white devil. But going back to the story. Now, one day, an 8th grader from my school, he was talking to a girl from their school. Now, this was normal. It was normal for them to talk to each other, this and the third. But two bulls from that school felt a type of way about it. Now, the bull from my school, not to glaze, but he was sharky for real. He was a shark. He knew how to talk. He knew how to get girls. So obviously the girl was feeling him. Now, the two bulls at this other school, they somehow set him up. I don't know what it was, but I think that they saw him with the girl like at a park or something, a park that was very close to both of our schools, and they just jumped him, like straight up just jumped him. Like they were whooping him through the streets, all that. Now, this is very important. This is very important, and this is kind of a side note, but this is why I don't like competing with certain people. Because certain people's pride, they can't take a loss. And that's not a bad thing. I don't want it to seem like, oh, you need to forgive everybody, you need to take an L, this, that, or third. But certain people in life, their pride can't take being embarrassed, taking an L. That's why you hear stories about people going out to play basketball and then the court got shot up. Their pride can't take a loss. Now, this is especially rampant within the black youth of today. And I'm not saying that this is like a only black people problem. No, I'm saying this because I've lived and experienced it. Like, y'all will go from small slap boxing to now y'all in the streets knuckling. Because some people's pride just can't take a loss. And that's a very bad thing in Philly, because sometimes, well, let me not even say sometimes, more likely than not, they will end up in gang and or gun violence. Now, going back to the story, the bull who got jumped from my school, he goes and gets other 8th graders, his classmates, to come and spin back on them. So now, it's just this all-out feud of one bull from my school jumping the other bull, this bull coming back, they keep spinning, they keep spinning. Now, luckily, I can say, from what I heard, thank God, nobody got shot. Nobody got pistol whipped, guns were involved. This was, and I feel as if a main reason why this never ended up in gang violence was because this story is set in old Philly. This story was set when kids were kids. When people didn't have guns around all the time. You walk outside, now you're going to see 2 15-year-olds with a ski mask, full Under Armour set, and they hoodie on. You see 3 of them approaching you, just know you cooked. Just know it's over with. In this Philly, it's over with. But back then, everybody was chill for real. Everybody was trying to attain. We weren't trying to be Philly Ghosts. We were trying to be Dollar Boys. We were out here sexy walking.
Hey, yo.
When I say we, I am not including me. I was never type boy to sexy walk. But y'all get what I'm saying though. It was really old Philly, so we didn't really. So overall, I would say that kids weren't as involved in gang and gun violence. If they weren't, it was because they were heavily into that life. Kids nowadays, they not even into that life. They just picking up guns to shoot. It's sad, but it's true. Now, you know what? While I'm talking about old Philly, let's talk about these poppy stores for a second. Yo, poppy stores be drawing now. They talk about $15 for a platter. I remember old Philly, you used to go to the poppy store. You could get like one cheesesteak for like $8. You want to make it a platter with fries? That costs you $10. You want some chips? Yo, chips used to be cheap. I remember, there used to be 25-cent chips. Now everywhere I go, it's 50 or 75. The day they made it 75, I stopped. The day they made it 75, I stopped going to the poppy store. But I remember, you used to get 2 chips for like 50 cents, and then you can get a bev. And when I say a bev, right? Back then there was this one bev called like soda pop, I think. I might put an image up on the screen. But a soda pop, they always used to cost $1. People were talking about Arizona's soda pops were really $1 for real. But yeah, as a matter of fact, nah, I'm not going to digress from this. Now, why poppy stores filling themselves all of a sudden? Why now you go up, you ask for a cheesesteak, they toss them $12. You question them, toss them, what makes this $12? No, papi, no English. No, papi, no. Bro, just give me my cheesesteak, bro. But back to the main story, right? Now, because of the tension between schools, right? Everybody was getting jumped, like at the bus station or at the bus stop or at the train stop. Me, I live 5 minutes down the block. Not even 5 minutes. I was 3 minutes from being in front of the school. So I personally was never concerned nor worried about getting jumped. I'd be in class, my man told something, yeah, we gotta walk in groups, bro, cause you know, so-and-so, he might try to catch me. So they were all, they were all convulsing on how they should approach going home. They told something, yo, EBONE, you need help getting home? For what? For what? I'm not involved in this life. Y'all think I'm about to be outside beating people up cause one bull was out here fighting? Yo, 1 second, yo. My fault, I'm back. Me, I'm like, y'all think just cause y'all beefing, I'm beefing? No sir. Yo, I come to school for an education. We is not a game. I am not participating in jumping people because one boy wanted to talk to another girl. This is why. This is a prime reason why I never respected gang culture. Y'all out here beefing for what? No, seriously, what are y'all beefing for? A lot of times, people in the streets, they're inheriting beef that doesn't even involve them. You ask a young boy right now why they carrying a gun, why they out here in the streets, they be like, nah, they slid on my mans, this, that, and the third. What your mans do? Oh yeah, my man dropped him. So they were justified to slide on your mans, you idiot. Now in this case, I'm not saying that jumping boy because he was talking to a girl was justified. I'm not saying that at all. But bro, why am I going to be outside in the streets fighting people over this? And when I say fighting, I don't mean like regular petty slap boxing, we knuckle up and then we go our ways. Nah, they were actually trying to hurt each other. They were actually bleeding in the streets. For what? For what? All this beef over what? Now, me, I made it clear. Don't worry about me. I'm going home and I'm staying inside the crib. Simple like that. And because I lived in front of the school, if anybody try to hurt me, the teachers from the school will see it. So, oh well. Oh well. Come get me if you want to. Now, luckily the beef died down. Like, keep in mind, this was all in my 7th grade year. This is all just context for the main story of how I ran from my ops. But this all happened around 7th grade year and it died down late 7th grade year as well. So, I wouldn't say that we were bad cool, it was just quiet. Now, going into 8th grade year, I quite literally cannot tell you what happened to start this beef back up, but the way I think about it is like this. Niggas is niggas. Niggas will always be niggas. It doesn't matter whether you are playing basketball, whether you are outside just hooping around, whatever you are doing, niggas will be niggas. Just expect them to be niggas. So what I heard from why this beef reignited was because essentially 2 niggas from the other school, they thought it would be a good idea to bid and try to like jump and tip on one boy from my school. In their minds, they thought it was a joke to chase someone through the streets and make them seem like a pussy, basically. Niggas. Obviously, nobody with a sense of pride is going to take that as a joke. So the beef started back up. Now, I know what I was saying is making it seem like my school was always getting jumped and we were losing. We were not losing. And I'll get into that later to the video. But they spin back. They're like, yo, now keep in mind, we're the 8th graders. We are elementary and middle school school. So the highest grade is 8th grade. We are supposed to be the top dogs. We are the ones supposed to be fighting. Now, if you watch the last story time, watch it. I said that I was coming out of my shell, I started learning slap boxing, and I became more accustomed to Philly culture. Now me, I'm not an idiot. I'm not going inside the street. Just because I said that I'm being more and more friendly with my friends, that does not mean I'm gonna go out my way to go and fight in the streets. That's stupid. That's very stupid. Alright, so we had a customer walk into the store, but we back at it with the story time. Now, peep game, right? Wait, where did I go? Dang, where did I leave off? Oh, we 8th graders. So that basically means that we have to be the ones fighting the other school now. I think they jumped somebody from my grade, or they jumped somebody who just graduated, so that it was somewhat personal now. Now, they started, I don't know why, but my friends start inheriting the beef. Like, they straight up are going on the gram and dissing the other bulls from the other school. It is going back and forth, back and forth. Now, y'all may think that this is all just like online beef. It's not online. People were actually getting jumped. People were actually getting punched, actually getting me. I stayed at home. But like, I was not outside. Listen, just because I was more active in school does not mean I'm active on the streets. Now, peep game, right? One day, one of my closest friends, my best friend at the time, I'll say, we all talking and whatnot, we all conversing, and then they bringing up that, oh, one of those bulls from the other school, they gonna slide. Not just one, I believe it's like 2 or 3 of them, they gonna slide. Now, my closest friend, he's a part of the beef. He been like that. He's now like, yo, me, so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. Let's say like 4 or 5 of them. 4 or 5 of my friends that I knew since like 1st grade, they're about to go and beat them up. I'm like, cool, that's cool. And then everybody in the class, keep in mind, I'm the one being quiet. Because it's like, I know my place. This is not my beef. This is not for me. That's the thing. So many people are quick to inherit beefs, and guess what? They'll die because of that beef. Not I though. Not I. So me, I'm quiet while they're talking and conversing about what they finna do, how they finna move, if they pull up to the school, how they gonna beat them up, this and the third. Tell me why, right? The whole class is talking about this. The whole class gets involved in this conversation. And some people, I'm not gonna say that they soft, but I want to say that they're not necessarily as involved in this beef as they are. So they start talking about stuff. Oh yeah, let them slide. Let's really show them how we doing it. The people that are actually going to fight, they are the calmest and they are the quietest. They are just like me. We're just calm and quiet because I know for a fact if my friend goes out in the streets and he's really going to fight, he might actually kill that dude just off of hands alone. So I know that it's going to be serious. These guys taking it as a joke. They genuinely think like, oh, it's a slapbox joke. Like, oh, we going to tip on him. Yeah, we going to smack him. This and the third. Bro, you're not like that. It's okay. Be yourself. Now, everybody in the class, like, let me not say everybody. All the males in the class, they keep gassing it. They like, yo, we finna slide. We finna do this. We finna do that. He said, you know what? I'm going to make my man's EBONE slap him. EBONE? Yo, how did I get involved in this beef? Do not say EBONE. Now, I verbally say, yo, what we talking about? Then, they all like, yeah, EBONE, show me how you gonna get. I ain't gonna count. I got steady. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna hit him with this. I'm gonna hit him with the us. You mean? Now, that was dumb of me. Very dumb of me. But I will say this though. I will never be involved in street beefs. But if I know that my closest friends are going out there to fight, who am I to run away? Win, lose, or draw, if my friends are fighting, I'm gonna fight with them. Now, tell me why, right? The time actually comes. There's 10 if not 15 of us. You know what? It was definitely 15 of us. 15 of us, and guess who we see? We see 3 bulls from the other school walk down. These are the Opps. Now, we are like one street. We're on the same street as the school, but not on the same block, if that makes sense. Now, as they're walking down, my closest friend, he puts down his bag immediately and he gets sturdy. Me, without even thought, without even one sense of doubt in my mind, I put my stuff down too. Because keep in mind, there's 3 of them. I know for a fact we have 15 bulls with us. So I know if it comes down to it, we jump them. So I put my stuff down. Right next to me, right? My man's, he gets sturdy. I'm right here. I look to my right. I only see one of my men's right there. I look to my left. Nobody's there. I look behind me. Bro, I swear, bro. They were social distancing. They were at least 15, if not 20 feet away from us two. Keep in mind, there's 15 people with us. in abundance, and everybody's behind us. Now, earlier I mentioned that there's like 5 who are really about to fight. Okay, 4 of them, they're not here because they really did have to take care of something. Now, my closest friend, here's the one that is here with me. Me, I'm not a part of this beef. Those guys, they don't know me. They don't know my name. I don't have a gram. I don't have a pic on the internet at this point. They do not know me. But I'm still ready to fight for my mans. And I look behind me. All the bulls talk about something. Yeah, I'm smacking, yo. Yeah, I'll do this. They quiet. Yo, they pulled up. Nah. Bro, oh snap, he look kind of big though. Bro, there's 15 of us, we can jump him. Nah, bro, nah. First off, I didn't verbally say that we could jump him. I just looked behind me in disappointment. But then I look forward because there's 3 bulls right there. And if, I already knuckled up. I already got my stuff up. Like, damn. Now I'm about to get whooped. I'm about to get whooped because I'm loyal to my mans. Whole time we could have jumped in. Now, I had to readjust myself. But now, right? Finally, the 4 dudes come, right? We didn't start fighting yet, right? For some reason, they at the end of the block. And we were in the middle of the street. So we're tempting them like, come on, we ain't scared. I ain't gonna cap. I wasn't scared. But I was concerned. One of them was a little big, and we were down by 1 because nobody from the back was lining up with us. So I was a little scared. But luckily, the 4 other bulls, keep in mind, there's 5 that are really in this beef. The 4 other bulls, they pulled up. Now, I don't want to say one of them was a group leader, but one of them was really in this beef and really had and really knew what he wanted to do. So he's like, no. Let's move from the school. Because remember, we're on the same street, just a different block. At any point, the teachers could have come and disciplined us for fighting in the streets. So immediately, we start walking around. First off, dang, I don't know how to explain this. Think about it like this. There are 2 blocks. The block the school is on and this block, right? And there's like 4 streets making a giant rectangle. Tell me why, right? We start walking. We go, and then we keep walking, right? Now we're directly on the side of the school, right? But we keep walking, right? Now, one of the girls yell out, "Oh my God, he has a gun!" What? Yo, stop playing. Yo, who got a gun? I'll turn around. I'll turn my neck so fast. I'll look behind me. Keep in mind, these 3 guys were following us the whole time. They did not say one word. I genuinely don't think that they wanted to fight, bro, because they saw how many people we had. Now, as they were following us, right, the girl yells out, "He has a gun, he has a gun." Oh, look. Okay, I don't know how to do this on camera without it looking weird. But basically, he was grabbing an area down there and kept adjusting it. So now I'm a little concerned. I'm like, yo, why he keeps scratching that part of his body? He either a weirdo and getting hard off this, he either kinky, or he got something that he hiding in there. And the way he kept like, pause. But the way he kept grabbing and touching it, pause. The way he kept grabbing and touching it, pause, was not like normal. It was more like an adjustment, like something was there. Pause. So, as I'm noticing this, I'm like, yo, he ain't got a gun, yo. You know how like you scared, but like you gotta say it out loud so that you can actually believe it? Nah, he ain't got a gun, bro. He just capping, yo. He just capping. Keep in mind, the 5 people that were really about to fight are with me. So I'm not saying that I'm bold, but I got a little bit of confidence. Yo, tell me why, right? We keep walking. We're trying to walk away from the school. Randomly, one of the bulls pops. Remember, there's 5 people who are really in this beef. They're a very tight friend group. I wouldn't say that I'm not part of this friend group. It's just that I don't hang out with them outside of school. But we're all very close. Tell me why. What did they pops? They pulled up. They pops put up telling, yo, get in the whip. Yo, you not about to fight. Now, this beef is very like widespread. This beef is like, I don't want to say popular, but this beef was like known if you lived in the area. Because you will see kids getting jumped in uniforms. So you will automatically associate 2 and 2. Now, as his pops is yelling at him, get in the whip, he tells all his friends to get in the whip too. Why? Because they all hung out after school. They all hung out at his crib. They all hung out around his crib. So obviously his pops they want to see them, you mean, go in the streets and fight in the streets. Because there's consequences in the streets. Luckily at the time we ain't had guns. But at the same time, one of us could have really badly got hurt. I'm going to tell y'all how one of us got hurt. Like, I can't even say us. One of them got hurt badly. Now, they all hop in the whip. I'm shook. Keep in mind, when it was just 15 of us, right? Only one of the bulls stood up there to fight with me. And I only stood up there to fight with him because he was a part of this beef. He's my closest friend. I'm not about to beef with these guys over what? Over what? These guys, they already don't like our school. This guy potentially has a gun. And keep in mind, we can't even jump him. They scared. They scary. I knew I was cooked. Now, I can say right now, I was overreacting. But if you are 13 years old, and you see someone with potentially a gun, and none of these guys are going to fight with you, you know how this flight and fight mode? I was finding a way to fight. I was trying to run. Now, as we keep walking, right? They keep emphasizing he has a gun, he has a gun. And I got a plan. I got a plan. I was not going to stay there. I was not. I don't care. I was not going to stay there. The 5 people who were in the beef, they already left. Why am I a part of this beef now? I'm not going to fight and die in the streets with y'all. Y'all were not ready to fight with me. I'm matching energy right now. So guess what? I had a plan. Remember, we're in a big group. So as we're moving, right? I go from the back of the group to somewhat the middle of the group. Just somewhat the middle. As I'm in the middle of the group, right? We keep walking. I keep turning around. Yo, these 3 guys, I high-key don't think they wanted to fight, yo. Because the distance they were from us was way too large. I'd say that if we was at the end of the block, they would at least be like at the other end of the block just following us. They were not trying to chase us. Now, all the dudes are scared. They tell them, bro, shut up. So basically let me not call it fat. One big Joe in a part of the group, she was like, oh my God, he got a gun. My man's, some bull was like, yo, shut up, shut your fat ass up. Hey, I understood. Cause, yo, if it really comes down to it, you not the one getting shot. They shooting at the brothers. They shooting at the dudes. You a female, yo. Stay. I'm not gonna tell you stay in your place, but stay in your lane. You not getting shot over this. Now, as we keep walking, remember, I'm slowly moving up the middle. As I'm in the middle, right? We keep walking. Now, we left that rectangle that I mentioned earlier. We been left that rectangle. We're just walking down the block. I'm gonna keep it a bean. This is probably my 2nd time being outside. But I've been smart my whole life. So I already knew. I was like, wait, the neighborhood is built like a grid. Straight up like a grid. So if it's built like a grid, if I just run through one of these alleyways or through one of these streets and make another turn, I'll just be at my crib. So guess what I did? Guess what I did, swag? We walking. The Opps in the back. I'll check one more time. Go time. Now, as we're walking, right? I didn't want to run in an alleyway because I knew if I ran in an alleyway and they caught me in an alleyway, I'm done. I needed a place where there's witnesses. So I waited until we all walked and we passed the alleyway, and then we were now crossing the street. As the group was crossing the street, guess what I did? Us. Right then and there. Us. 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 I was running. I just started booking. I'm running. You're not catching me. I'm running. And I knew that the distance they weren't going to catch me. Even if they stayed walking, the ops, they were not going to stop, look at that corner, and then come chase me to jump me. They were not going to do that. So I started running. Pause. That sounded crazy. My fault. But I was running though. I was running. And nobody could catch me. Tell me why. When I started my sprint, all I hear is, yo, he running. The same bulls who was scared to fight, they yelling out my location. They yelling out my plan. Did that make me scared? No. I just ran faster. I already had a head start, and if any one of them tried running with me, they were going to get jumped before I got jumped. Some bulls, they tried running with me, but then I looked them dead. So peep game, right? I don't know how to explain it, but like in the neighborhood, there's like a street down the road, right? Me, I ran through this side of the road, and my mans, my classmates, they tried running on the other side of the road. But then guess what I did? I turned. I looked them dead in their eyes. They saw the dedication in my eyes, yo. They saw what was going on in my eyes. They knew. Nah, he not running. He not running because he's scared. He running because he got a home to get to. They saw that. They were like, oh, no, we can't run with him, yo. He really trying to run. They should have stopped halfway through. They're like, bro, we not running this long way. If he really makes it, yo, he really dedicated. I made it through the whole block. I ran a whole block in 2 seconds. I promise you, I ran a whole block in 2 seconds. I was Usain Bolt. The only things that can make me run that fast is put a dog behind me or put some ops behind me. I'ma run. Now, I'm running. Now I'm scared because now the time frame that I'm seeing, right? I'm thinking the ops are about to turn the corner. The second they do that, I'ma turn again and keep running. So then, now they'll be confused, like, what they talk about, who running? They not going to see me. I'm going to be hiding behind some buildings. So guess what I do? I made it to the end of the block and I immediately hide. Why? Because, remember, we crossed an alleyway. And then I went on the neighborhood. Now, if they were truly behind, that means that as they're crossing the alleyway, there's a chance they might see me cross the alleyway. So guess what I did? I hid behind the house at the end of the block, and then I peeked. The ops were walking, all of them kept walking. I'm free. So I started walking home. I started pimping. I'm like, yeah, bro, I made it out. I'm chilling. I ain't die today. I ain't trying to die today. Whatever young boy said. But I was not going to die today. But tell me why. I see this familiar car pull up right next to me. I'm like, yo, am I about to get drive-by, yo? I was a kid, so I didn't know what it meant. But I knew that I might get shot. I was like, oh, dang, I might die. The car stops right at the stop sign, right? And then I look at the driver as I'm crossing. I'm like, I recognize Bull, but I don't know where he's from. Tell me why one of them rolled down their window. It was my 5 closest friends, the 5 people that I was in the streets with. I can't even say the streets with. The 5 people that I was ready to fight for. They all look at me and they knew I ran from the beef. They knew I did not. They knew I did not rumble. They saw it on my face. I ran. Now, we all kept quiet. I kept walking about my business. Listen, y'all can say I'm turkey. Y'all can say whatever y'all want. But I can say I'm alive today. And you see, this is one reason. As a matter of fact, this story still ain't over. But this is another side point. This is one main reason. One huge reason why I will never argue with somebody in the streets. What I look like arguing with you when tomorrow I can say that I live? tomorrow you gonna be dead leaking on the streets. I have no reps for people in the streets. Okay, live and die by that code. You're gonna be bleeding on the white man street. Go ahead. Why do you think Dr. Umar said 20% of y'all are going to sleep forever? If he could, he would kill 10% of the black community. Why? Because you... Hold on, I can't even say it. Nah, I'm gonna sound racist if I finish that. Let me chill out. But a lot of people in the streets, I have no respect for. I will never respect calling somebody big homie. Oh, you big bro, you this, that, and the third. Suck my dick. What's going to happen? I'm going to get shot for telling gang members suck my dick. Go ahead. If you're not going to die in the streets, you're going to die in the cell. In a 4x4. You don't even get to choose your meals, your outfits, nothing. You're just going to be in a box with other men dying. And a lot of people think the streets are the way out. Your streets are just the way in. The way in to the prison system. Go ahead. I'm not going to argue with you. I never respected big homies. And I don't need to be in the streets to have a gun. So don't think just because I'm like, oh, I would never argue with somebody. Go ahead. Test your luck. Give me a self-defense case. But back to the story now. Back to the story. The next day, right? We all in school. Everybody in school. We all in class. Everybody having jokes now. Talking some, EBONE ran, yo. EBONE ran, nah, EBONE, why you run for the Opps, yo? Me, I'm 10 toes. I'm like, none of y'all were fighting. Name one of y'all who fought. Y'all talking some, I ran. Y'all wasting your time. Y'all want me to walk with y'all across the neighborhood? Absolutely not. It was either we were gonna fight or not. And I stood up and I squared up. Now they trying to downplay what I did. They tell some, you didn't even look sharp for real. This and the third. While you were out there with so-and-so, you were scared, bro. You couldn't even square up for real. Guess what happened though? My mans, he immediately cut that out. He was like, bro, all y'all can shut up for real. Cause when we could have jumped them, y'all was scared. He stood up for me. And rightfully so. I was ready to fight. I was ready to get beat. I ain't even gonna care. I wasn't ready to fight. I was ready to throw a few punches, take a few punches and tap out. I be keeping it big. But I was still there though. Everybody else was running. Everybody else was scared. Everybody else was behind us. I was the only person who was right next to my mans. Now that quieted down for a few days. Now earlier I said I made it seem like we were losing. We were not losing. Tell me why. Those five bulls, they caught them. And when I say caught them, it wasn't like just 3 of them. It was like a 5v5 in the streets. I don't have the video of this, and if I did, I would not share it. Tell me why I see my closest friend. Remember how I said that if my closest friend got in a fight, he might kill one of them? I promise you on everything. All I see in this video is my man's. He took the Opps head, put it over the hood of a car. Somehow he is on the car and now he is going like this. Stomping his head in. What? Bro, I know what I just described sounds so stupid. Like, how did he have his head on the hood and he was stopping it in? I don't know, bro, but I saw it with my own eyes. And everybody was in the streets, and guess what? I could say my school won that beef. We won that beef. I can't even say we. They won that beef. That school, not the other school, not the Opps school. My school, they won that beef. They won for sure. And at one point, I believe 3 out of my 5 closest friends, they jumped one bull into the hospital. Into the hospital. Oh yeah, excuse the weird camera angle now. I'm sitting on another box instead of my stool. But back to the main joint, they jumped them into the hospital. Was it really that deep? Now imagine if I didn't run from the Opps. Imagine if I went and started initiated a fight knowing that nobody behind me was drunk. I would have ended up in the hospital. Because the people from the other school, they had no rest for us. To this day, we still don't know if they had a gun or not. But I'll tell you one thing though, I'm allowed to tell you the story. Alright, if y'all like the story. I hope, you know, if y'all like the story, like it, or we finna jump you. I'm not the same boy I was in the past, yo.
It's your pockets, baby.